Cześć, witaj ponownie. Hi guys, welcome back to the platform. Welcome to today's video. So besties, a subscriber of mine requested for this video. It says Poland 101 facts. I'm here to react to you all. I hope you are gonna enjoy this with me. Let's go on a journey. Okay, if you're new to the channel, cheers, welcome. Thank you so much for liking, subscribing, leaving your beautiful and awesome comment. And yeah guys, let's head over to today's video. It's going to be an awesome one from the way I see the title. Okay,
just won't quit. Poland. It's lean, it's mean, it's a pierogi eating machine, and it's got a very rich and interesting history that was not easy to research. But Jacob did a good job, thanks Jacob. Here's the thing though, what will you find in the crooked forest?
berries.
How many Polish people have gone to space? And what level of national offence will I generate with the verbal disasters I'm about to inflict upon the Polish language? Seriously guys, it's gonna be bad. 2 out of 3 of these questions are going to be answered, so grab your friends, grab some vodka and grab some thinking caps as we go through 101 facts about Poland. Number 1. Poland, officially the Republic of Poland, is a country located in Central Europe, or Eastern Europe, it depends who you ask. Wow, this isn't a great start.
Oh,
it's
my
next to
goodness.
Germany, basically. Number 2. Geographically, Poland is bordered by Russia's Kaliningrad Oblast and Lithuania to the northeast, Belarus and Ukraine to the east, Slovakia and the Czech Republic to the south, Germany to the west, and the good old Baltic Sea to the north. Number 3. The early Bronze Age in what is now Poland began somewhere between 2400 BC, while the Iron Age commenced in approximately 750 BC. During this time, the ancient Lusatian culture, which spanned both the Bronze and Iron Ages, rose to prominence. Number 4. The most famous archaeological find from the prehistory of Poland is probably Biskupin, which was a Lusatian fortified settlement believed to have been built over the winter between 738 and 737 BCE. This extremely specific date was pinpointed through the wonders of dendrochronology, which is the fancy science man word for counting tree rings. Since its discovery in 1933, Biskupin has been converted into an archaeological open-air museum and features a life-size reconstruction of the fort. Number 5. Between 400 and 500 BCE, a number of distinct ancient ethnic groups populated the area that's now Poland, including Slavic, Celtic, Baltic, and Germanic tribes, all just doing their thing, singing songs and telling jokes about the Romans, probably. It's kind of hard to tell, since the recorded history of Poland didn't begin until the 10th century. We're getting there. Number 6. We're getting there right now, actually. The establishment of the nation of Poland can be traced back to the year 966, when a guy called Mieszko I, who ruled over an area that's largely coextensive with the territory of present-day Poland, converted to Christianity, as was the fashion to do at the time. It was like dabbing. Number 7. A few decades later, Mieszko's son, Bolesław the Brave, was officially crowned the first king of Poland in 1025, near the end of his life. This established the Kingdom of Poland, so now the country had a fancy new crown and whatnot. Number 8. The royal line of Mieszko ruled Poland for a good few centuries until they all eventually died out towards the end of the 14th century, forcing Poland to look for a new monarch elsewhere. In 1384, the youngest daughter of Louis I of Hungary, a lady called Jadwiga, married the Grand Duke of Lithuania, establishing a dynastic union between the two nations.
Wow.
Number 9. In 1447, a guy called, here we go, Kazimierz IV Jagiellonczyk became the King of Poland, and later became known as the Father of Europe. Of his numerous children, 1 became a cardinal, 4 became kings, 1 was canonized as a saint, and 3 of his daughters married into noble families to become the mothers of the heirs of several of the greatest dynasties in Western Europe. Number 10. In 1569, the alliance between Poland and Lithuania was upgraded to the Polish-Lithuanian Commonwealth, a bi-confederation dual state which constituted one of the largest and most populous countries of the 16th and 17th century Europe, roughly 390,000 square miles big. Number 11. The 150 years or so between the late 15th century and the mid-17th century are often referred to as the Polish Golden Age, marked by several decades of prosperity and stability. The country's political system also featured a number of attributes that later evolved into the modern concept of democracy, including checks on monarchical power, protected rights for minorities, relative religious tolerance, and multiculturalism. It was a happening place to be. Number 12. By the mid-17th century, however, the stability of the Polish-Lithuanian Commonwealth had begun to weaken. Other states and groups, such as the Tsardom of Russia, the Kingdom of Prussia, Sweden, and the Ukrainian Cossacks, began to rise in prominence and exploited the Commonwealth's growing weakness, leading to territorial losses and dwindling political significance. This was further exacerbated by prolific conflicts and infighting between the nation's nobles. It was no longer a happening woke place to be. Number 13. Between 1655 and 1660, the Commonwealth was devastated by the so-called Deluge, during which the country was invaded by both Sweden and Russia. Oh dear, double team. Gravely diminishing the country's wealth, infrastructure, and culture. In total, 188 cities, 186 villages, 81 castles, 136 churches, and 89 palaces were destroyed by the invaders. God, that's rude. People were using those. Number 14. The Commonwealth lost roughly a third of its population during this period. And of the 20,000 people living in the nation's capital of Warsaw before the conflict, only 2,000 remained after it ended. And by the way, if you think this sounds bad, believe me, it gets so much worse. Number 15. In total, around 4 million of Poland's 11 million inhabitants died in famines and epidemics throughout the 17th century. See, I told you, didn't I tell you it got worse? Number 16. In 1764,
with 20,000 people, only 2,000 people remained. Like 18 were all dead. Like, did I hear that right? Wow, that war was literally brutal. Seriously. And the churches, the palace, everywhere that they just destroyed. Oh God, give me the strength to finish this video. I love the way he's making it a little bit fun to watch. Okay, he's not making it so boring, so it looks entertaining and fun, and is educative in between. So the way he's explaining the 101 fact about Poland, I love the way he's doing it. Okay, let me know your thoughts in the comment section. Like, yo, this let's head back, guys.
A fellow by the name of Stanisław August Poniatowski became the King of Poland, and he remains a controversial figure in Polish history. While he was praised as a reformer, modernizer, and an educated patron of the arts and sciences, he was also seen as a tool of Russia's Catherine the Great, with whom he was romantically involved. Seriously. Stan and Catherine sitting in a tree, ruining Poland's destiny. Number 17. While Poniatowski's policies improved the country's economy and culture, as a weak leader he failed to prevent the first partition of Poland, when roughly a third of Poland's territory and around a third of its population was annexed by the Russian Empire, as well as the Kingdom of Prussia and the Habsburg Austrian Empire. Thanks, Obama. Number 18. In 1793, Poland ratified the 3rd of May Constitution, so named because, well, I'm sure you can figure it out. The Constitution was the first set of modern supreme national laws in Europe, second only in the world to the Constitution of the United States, which came into force in 1789. It's okay if you didn't know this, though. Americans don't really like to talk about their constitution. They're very reserved and quiet about it. Number 19. The 3rd of May Constitution aimed to re-establish the relationship between the king and the nobles, to protect the rights of the poor and promote political equality and freedom. I mean, that sounds brilliant. Who could possibly have a problem with that? Number 20. Oh, okay, that's right. Rich people had a problem with that. I completely forgot about rich people. Yes, the privileged elite weren't exactly fans of this equality and freedom malarkey, given that it was inequality and oppression that allowed them to be privileged elites in the first place. To prevent the rebirth of a strong Commonwealth, Catherine the Great invaded Poland only 19 months after the Constitution was enacted, carrying out the second partition of Poland in 1793. Number 21. The second partition saw the annexation of so much Polish territory to the Russian Empire and the Kingdom of Prussia that Poland was effectively unable to exist as an independent state. Despite an attempt to liberate Poland from its invaders, in the form of the Kosciuszko Uprising, the Commonwealth's remaining territory was annexed to its entirety in 1795 during the third partition of Poland, at which point Poland sadly ceased to exist. Yikes, tough break. I wonder if they'll make it, but oh, they will, because otherwise we wouldn't be doing this video about them. Number 22, With Poland's independent existence quite literally removed from the map, each of its invaders began to denationalise Polish citizens, forcing many educated Poles to resign from public political activity or flee the region altogether. Eventually, only small areas of what was formerly Poland allowed Polish culture to flourish freely. Number 23. However, much like Asgard, I guess, in a way, the idea of Poland as an independent state was not lost on the minds of its people. And in the 19th century, there was two major uprisings against foreign rule. The first was the November Uprising of 1830, when young Polish soldiers, led by Lieutenant Piotr Wysocki, revolted. Though they were eventually joined by a large number of local Poles, as well as Lithuanians, Belarusians, and Ukrainians, within a year, the numerically superior forces of the Russian Empire crushed the uprising. Number 24. The second revolt, which would later become known as the January Uprising, began in 1863 as a protest by young Poles against conscription into the Imperial Russian Army, before developing into a larger insurrection. Despite being joined by high-ranking Polish-Lithuanian officers and a large number of politicians, the rebels were once again heavily outnumbered and won no major battles before the forces of the Russian Empire crushed the uprising in June of 1864. Number 25. More than a century after the partitions of Poland at the end of the 18th century, around 2 million Polish soldiers fought in the First World War, supporting Britain, France and Russia against Germany, Austria-Hungary and Italy. Almost a quarter of Polish soldiers who fought in the First World War were killed, constituting the deaths of around 450,000 people. Number 26.
Wow.
After the war ended in 1918, Poland was finally reborn. It regained its independence with the signing of the Treaty of Versailles, which granted roughly 20,000 square miles of land to Poland at the expense of Germany. After 123 years, Poland was once again an independent nation. You got this, girl. Number 27. The interwar period was devoted almost entirely to rebuilding and reuniting, but there was significant political violence and upheavals, including the assassination of the first president in 1922 and a coup d'etat in 1926. Sadly, Poland's troubles were once again far from over. Number 28. On the 1st of September 1939, the Second World War began with the invasion of Poland by Germany, backed by Stalin's army from the east. While Germany had been preparing for war for a number of years, Poland was relatively unprepared, and by the end of the month, Warsaw had fallen to the Nazis, after which the Polish government fled to Great Britain but continued working as a government in exile. Number 29. Still, Polish armies and units continued to fight alongside Allied forces, and made considerable contributions to the fight against the Nazis. Polish pilots, for instance, were instrumental in achieving victory during the Battle of Britain, and provided crucial information that led to the breaking of the Enigma Code. Number 30. Polish fighters also organised one of the largest underground armies in Europe's history, known as the Home Army, which consisted of as many as 600,000 soldiers, saboteurs and intelligence operatives. Number 31. Happily, Polish forces were also accompanied by Wojtek, a literal bear who carried ammunition to the front lines and actually helped recapture Italy for the Allies. Wojtek, who stood at 6 feet tall and weighed 500 pounds,
Since you started this video, it's all about from one word to another word, to another word, to another word, to another word, being invaded, being disappeared from the planet of the map, being like there was always one war, and when the posts stand up again, before you know it, another war has crushed them down, and I always say it's the zeal of you guys fighting and standing up for yourself. For me, seriously, he said something about the fight of the British. I have done a reaction about that. That video really broke me into a lot of pieces because I did not really sit with the injustice that was being played in that video. Okay. This is alright, guys, let's head back.
Was a huge source of morale for Polish soldiers, and would apparently enjoy drinking beer out of a bottle just like the rest of his human comrades. Number 32. After the war, Wojtek lived out the rest of his life at Edinburgh Zoo in Scotland, where he was often visited by fans and former Polish soldiers. He even appeared on the British children's TV show Blue Peter on several occasions, and frankly there's no greater honour in the UK. Here's to Wojtek, the most interesting bear in the world. Number 33. Ultimately, however, the Second World War utterly devastated Poland. By the end of the conflict, more than 6 million Polish citizens had been killed. What's more, around 90% of Poland's Jewish population was systematically murdered. Number 34. In fact, Poland was so horrifically damaged by the Second World War that the Polish population didn't return to its pre-war level of around 35 million people until 1977, roughly 38 years later. Number 35. After the negotiations that happened after the Second World War finally ended, Poland lost the majority of its eastern territories, but it did gain land to the west that had previously belonged to Germany. In a sense, the entire nation of Poland effectively moved around 150 kilometers westwards, necessitating the resettlement of around 2 million people. Number 36. Sadly, even after finishing the Second World War on the winning side, Poland continued its unfortunate habit of being royally screwed over. In 1952, the Polish People's Republic was officially established as a satellite state under the Soviet influence. and was forced to adopt communism as its political system, despite Stalin's previous assurances that he would respect Polish sovereignty and allow free and fair elections. Spoiler alert, he didn't. Number 37. Armed anti-communist forces continued to oppose Soviet influence in Poland throughout the years after the end of the Second World War. As the nation struggled with a repressive and often corrupt regime that left it short on basic goods, economic growth, and a free media. As a result, Poland's reconstruction progressed far more slowly than that of other Western European countries. Number 38. In the early 1980s, Poland's economic situation deteriorated to such an extent that its communist government was forced to raise consumer prices, which was immediately met with waves of strikes organised by a population already living in very difficult conditions. This ultimately led to the rise of Solidarity, an independent trade union which began to erode the dominance of the Polish United Workers' Party. Number 39. In 1989, Solidarity won a resounding victory in Poland's first partially free and democratic parliamentary elections since the end of the Second World War, prompting the nation's transition away from communism and establishing the Third Polish Republic, which still exists today. Number 40. Since then, Poland got itself a fancy new constitution in 1997, joined NATO in 1999 and the European Union in 2004. After a long and turbulent history, today Poland is a stable and modern democracy that has seen significant improvements in freedom of speech, human rights and civil liberties. And we here at 101 Facts couldn't be prouder of you, Poland. Na zdrowia! Number 41. Today, Poland is known officially as Rzeczpospolita Polska, which translates to the Republic of Poland. Interestingly, the word Rzeczpospolita is reserved exclusively to refer to Poland, and the other republic is referred to in Polish as Republika. The meaning of life. The actual word Poland originates from the name of a West Slavic tribe known as the Polani, which ultimately derives from the word Pole, meaning field. As such, the word Poland essentially means land of the people living in fields, which is nice, I guess, and technically true. Number 43. Poland's current territory covers an area of roughly 120,562 square miles, making it slightly smaller than the US state of New Mexico and about 6.5 times smaller than Old Mexico, which is also known as Mexico. Number 44. Politically, Poland is divided into 16 administrative subdivisions known as vojewodztwo, which are further divided into 380 powiaty and 2,478 gminy. Why are you doing this to me, Polish? What have I ever done to you? Number 45. With a population of approximately 38.5 million people, Poland is the 6th most populous country in the European Union. However, Poland is poised to become the 5th most populous member of the EU fairly soon, owing to a little thing called... well, I don't want to say it. It rhymes with schmeckshit. Let's move on. Number 46. Poland's capital and largest city is Warsaw, which in Polish is pronounced Warszawa. The city has a population of around 1.7 million residents, within a greater metropolitan area of 3.1 million residents. Number 47. Wow. Other major cities in Poland include, oh dear, okay, here we go, Krakow, Łódź, Wrocław, Poznań, Gdansk, and, Szczecin. Please feel free to leave a bunch of comments telling me how badly I pronounced those. I know you want to. Number 48. As you probably already know, because I've mentioned it several times already, Poland's official language is Polish. It's spoken by about 45 million people, most of whom obviously reside in Poland. It's often stated that Polish is one of the most difficult languages for non-native speakers to learn. But then everyone says that about their language. No one wants to have an easy language. Languages are like mums, no one wants an easy one. Number 49. Interestingly, the Polish alphabet consists of 32 letters, compared to the frankly pathetic 26 we have in English. Show-offs. Number 50. In the 16th century, a poet known as Mikołaj Ray became the first author to write exclusively in the Polish language, and as such is often referred to as the father of Polish literature. Good for him, I'm sure he's dead. Proud. Dead proud. He's dead, obviously. I think. Number 51. Poland also recognises an official regional language called Kashubian, which is spoken by around 108,000 people, mostly in the northwestern regions of the country. Kashubian is taught in a number of Polish schools, and can be found on many street signs in its native regions. Number 52. The currency used in Poland is the Polish zloty, which is subdivided into 100 grosze. These Polish words are killing me.
Seriously, guys, this is literally educative, okay? Because the way he's explaining it, it has given me a different vision about Poland. Like you see, from the grass to grace. That is how Poland is. From the ground, they build to where they are, and I feel they are still going more and more higher. So I get some comments in my comment section asking me, why am I reacting on Poland? Why am I advertising Poland? Like, yo, when you see this kind of a country that has been betrayed, has been invaded, has been disappeared from the planet of Earth, and they are where they are now, and the world is talking about this particular country, why won't you also talk about this particular country, about their fall, their high note, their happiness, their sadness, everything? Why won't you not talk about it? This is pretty interesting. Thank you so much for requesting, for letting me know about this particular video. I really do appreciate. If you watch this extent, thank you so much. I really do appreciate you. Please give this video a thumbs up. Okay, it helps for other audience to watch the video. Yeah, and no more. All right, so let's head back.
My mouth can't make these sounds. Number 53. The Polish flag is pretty darn simple, unlike the flags in a number of other countries, looking at you, Nepal. Consisting of two equal horizontal stripes with white on the top and red at the bottom, the Polish flag is very similar to the flags of Monaco and Indonesia, the only difference being the reverse colour and the flag dimensions.
Now I know.
Number 54. Written in 1797 by Józef Wybicki, Poland's national anthem is called Mazurek Dąbrowskiego, though it's also commonly known as Jeszcze Polska nie zginęła, which translates to Poland has not yet perished. God, that's pretty metal. Number 55. In Poland, the end of certain surnames can differ based on gender. But also, if you're a woman and your father's surname is Kowalski, your surname would be Kowalska. This trait has not survived in every part of the Polish diaspora, and people with Polish surnames in many places like the United States use only the male form, regardless of gender, because men are the best. Go men. That's obviously a joke. Number 56. It should come as no surprise to anyone that Poland is a very religious country. Indeed, about 90% of the Polish population identifies Roman Catholic, though some estimates put the actual figure at almost 95%. That's almost as many Catholics as the Vatican, where they make Catholics. Number 57. Poland's highest point is Mount Resse, which is located on the country's southern border with Slovakia. Standing at 8,199 feet tall, the mountain's name is believed to mean scratches or crevices, referring to the rugged terrain on its western side. Sorry, I don't know why I went all sexy there for a mountain, but it's quite imposing. Number 58. While we're on the topic of mountains, it's worth mentioning that the highest mountain in Australia, Mount Kosciuszko,
Mount Kosciuszko,
was named after Tadeusz Kosciuszko, who led the aforementioned Kosciuszko uprising. The mountain was named by Polish explorer, good lord, Paweł Edmund Strzelecki, who felt it somewhat resembled Kosciuszko's tomb in Krakow. Number 59. Whoa. Poland contains over 10,000 lakes, which I believe is quite a lot of lakes. The largest lake in Poland, called Śniadów, is located in the northeast of the country and has a surface area of 43.9 square miles. Number 60. Poland is home to no less than 15 UNESCO World Heritage Sites, 14 of which are cultural, referring to the country's rich and complicated history. These include the historic centres of Warsaw and Krakow, the wooden churches of southern Małopolska, and, sadly, Auschwitz.
10,000!
Number 61. Wow. Another interesting entry on the list is Malbork Castle in North Poland, which is also known by its far more dramatic full name of the Castle of the Teutonic Order in Malbork. Built in the 13th century, Malbork Castle is the largest castle in the world by land area, covering a single area of 143,591 square metres. That's a lot of castle. Number 62. Poland's only UNESCO World Heritage Site in its natural category is the Białowieża Primeval Forest, which covers 547 square miles of land along the border between Poland and Belarus. It's one of the last and largest remaining parts of an enormous ancient forest that once stretched across the entire European plain. Number 63. Białowieża is home to 800 European bison, Europe's heaviest land animal. Having been hunted to extinction in the wild in the early 20th century, the species was kept alive in captivity and has since been reintroduced into several countries in Europe. I bet when they went over there, they said, "Bye, son." Nintendo 64. Over 30% of Poland's land is covered in forests, making it the fourth most forested country in Europe. Nice trees, Poland. Sorry, I just need to let everyone know here that in the script it says to make sexual noises, which I'm not gonna... Nice trees, Poland. Number 65. Close to the town of Gryfino, near Poland's northwestern border with Germany, there is a mysterious forest which contains several hundred gradually sloping back up to its vertical position. It's believed that the trees were planted at some point in the 1930s, and though the cause of their bizarre shape is presumed to be some sort of human intervention, the means and motive are unknown. The forest is today known by the not at all creepy nickname, the Crooked Forest. Number 66. Poland is mainly comprised of lush countryside, but surprisingly, the country is actually home to the Błędów Desert, which is a legit desert. Yes, a desert in the middle of Europe. You learn something new every day. Or 101 things.
Mysterious?
Welcome to 101 Facts. Anyway, the Błędów Desert was not created naturally, but as a result of human activity which rendered the ground unable to support plant life. So, go us, I guess. Number 67. Poland has a diverse culinary tradition, of which one of the most well-known items is Polish dumplings, or pierogi. These famous little morsels are made by wrapping unleavened dough around a savoury or sweet filling and then cooking them in boiling water or by frying them in a pan. They're basically like Slavic gyoza, which is incidentally the name of my upcoming thrash metal album. Don't buy it, even I think it's really bad. Number 68. The pierogi is so beloved in Polish cuisine that every year on the 8th of October, Polish Americans in the US celebrate National Pierogi Day, in honour of their delicious dumpling heritage.
A pretty interesting fact about Poland, okay? Like, the desert, I'm still trying to wrap my head around it, okay? Is it that human being can go there, or it's not the natural something? Because there's a way he explained it. I'm still trying to, I got lost, okay? You can do it to explain that part for me very well in the comment section as well. This is pretty interesting to watch. I'm literally like blown away by there are some things he's saying that I have never reacted on it before, and now I know. So yeah.
Do you like pierogies? More to the point, have you ever tried one? Let us know in our YouTube poll. Get it? Poll? Because Poland, whatever, just click the thing. Number 69. Pierogi. Another traditional dish in Poland is bigos, commonly known in English as hunter's stew. Bigos is made with meat, sausage, sauerkraut, prunes, cabbage, mushrooms, and spices. Number 70. A scrummy Polish sweet treat of note is polski, which is Poland's version of the humble donut. It's estimated that 100 million polski are consumed in Poland every year on the Thursday before Ash Wednesday alone. Number 71.
Wow.
A popular street food in Poland is zapiekanka, an open-faced sandwich made of half of a baguette topped with sautéed white mushrooms, cheese, and various other additional toppings, which is then toasted until the cheese melts. A delectable combination that's earned it the nickname of Polish pizza.
I'm gonna try.
Number 72. Poland is also widely known for its production and consumption of vodka, the distilled alcoholic beverage known for its delightful propensity to get you absolutely raddled in no time at all. Scholars debate the origins of vodka, as both Poland and Russia claim to have invented it. But we do know that the word vodka was first used in Polish documents all the way back in 1405, so say that, Russia. Number 73. But Poles have varied taste in their choice of booze, and certainly enjoy beer a great deal too. On average, Polish people drink around 92 litres of beer a year, placing Poland third in Europe in consumption of beer, behind only Germany and the Czech Republic. Number 74. Poland has produced a number of humanity's greatest thinkers, who've helped our species along in its unquenchable hunger for sweet, sweet knowledge. One such smarty-pants Pole was Nicolaus Copernicus, whose actual Polish name was Mikołaj Kopernik. Born in 1473, Copernicus worked as a doctor, lawyer, architect, and soldier before constructing an observatory and writing De Revolutionibus Orbium Coelestium, which correctly stated that the sun was at the centre of the planetary system rather than the Earth, prompting it to be quickly banned by the Catholic Church for being just too real, man. Number 75. Another Polish clever clogs was Marie Curie, who was widely remembered for her pioneering work in the field of radioactivity. Born Maria Skłodowska in Warsaw in 1867, Curie moved to Paris in early 1880 and married Frenchman Pierre Curie in 1895. Together, they discovered the elements polonium and radium in the late 19th century, and Curie herself is credited for coining the term radioactivity and for conducting the world's first studies into the treatment of tumours using radioactive isotopes. We owe her a great deal, basically. Number 76. In 1903, Curie won her first Nobel Prize in Physics along with her husband and another colleague, Henri Becquerel. After the death of her husband in 1906, Marie was appointed to her husband's professorship, becoming the first woman to teach at Sorbonne University in Paris. Curie won a second Nobel Prize in Chemistry in 1911 for her research in the isolation of pure radium. Not only is Curie the first woman to win a Nobel Prize, she's also the first person to win 2 Nobel Prizes, the only woman to win in 2 fields, and the only person to win in multiple sciences. She's a science banff, basically. Number 77. Interestingly, Curie named polonium after her native Poland, which was at the time part of the Russian Empire. Curie conceived the name in order to bring greater attention to Poland's lack of independence as a sovereign state, which is thought to be the first example of a chemical element being named to highlight a political cause. Essentially, Curie was what scientists refer to as the absolute goat. Number 78. Frédéric Franciszek Chopin, often frankified to Frédéric François Chopin, is Poland's most famous composer. Chopin was born in Salazowa Wola in central Poland in 1810 and left Poland in the summer of 1830, never to return.
Why?
Number 79. The writer Joseph Conrad, well known for his novels Lord Jim and Heart of Darkness, was in fact also a Pole and was born... Oh, good heavens. Right, okay, here we go. Józef Theodor Konrad Nałęcz Kozieniowski. Hell of a name that I definitely did all in one take. Number 80. In the late 19th century, a Polish guy named Ludwik Leitzer Zamenhof, more commonly known as L.L. Zamenhof, created the artificial language of Esperanto, the most widely spoken constructed language in the world. Zamenhof created Esperanto to be as simple and intuitive as possible, with regular grammar and spelling that would allow it to become a shared international language used by people all over the world.
Wow.
Today, around 2 million people speak Esperanto, a small number of whom learnt it from birth. Number 81. In 1912, a Polish-born American biochemist named Casimir Funk, commonly anglicised to Casimir Funk, first formulated the concept of vitamin, something my body desperately craves yet I desperately avoid.
Wow, I never knew that.
Number 82. The 17th century Polish astronomer Jan Hevelius, often referred to as Johannes Hevelius, published the earliest exact maps of the moon, which were useful for people who were super interested in space and stuff. Number 83. In 1978, Mirosław Hermaszewski became the first Polish national to go to space, flying aboard the Soyuz 30 spacecraft and spending almost 8 days on board the Salyut 6 space station. At the time of making this video, Hermaszewski remains the only Polish person to leave Earth.
Whoa.
Number 84. In the 1880s, a Polish-born Jewish man named Miko Marks arrived in Britain after fleeing anti-Semitic persecution in Russian-controlled Poland. Mark would later go on to become the co-founder, along with Tom Spencer, you can see where I'm going with this, British people, of Marks & Spencer department stores, which officially opened in 1894. Number 85. You can also thank Poland for the world's first waterproof mascara, courtesy of Helena Rubinstein, who was born in Krakow on Christmas Day in 1872. Rubinstein also developed the precursor of the mascara wands used universally today, as well as some of the first professional suntan products. Number 86.
Wow.
Poland also produced Maksymilian Faktorowicz, who founded a little cosmetics company called Max Factor in California in 1909. Faktorowicz also invented modern eyelash extensions, provided his service as a beautician to early stars of Hollywood, and in 1920 coined the word makeup based on the verb phrase to make up one's face,
Wow.
a term that I'm told is still used today. Number 87. The Polish former strongman and current mixed martial artist, Mariusz Pudzianowski, won the title of World's Strongest Man no less than 5 times, more than any...
Guys are literally intelligent. Like the lot of inventors, the one that invented... Okay, he did a collaboration with Britain to get a store, like when they produce clothes. Now I've seen another inventor that invented mascara. I've seen another inventor that invented... God, lashes and makeup and a lot of things. Wow, this is pretty mind-blowing. Like I lost count of how many inventors that came out from Poland. Okay, if you know how many, you can list them for me in the comment section. I really do appreciate that. Okay, guys, this is literally an interesting, educative video. Seriously, like, you want to know more about Poland, listen to this particular video. You will learn a lot. Like, there's some things he said that I don't know, and now I know. Like, yo, amazing, right?
other athlete. Number 88. The Poland Rock Festival, see what they did there, is a free rock music festival which has been held in Poland every year since 1995.
Wow.
Formerly known as Woodstock Festival Poland, after the original Woodstock Rock Festival held in the US state of New York in 1969, the Poland Rock Festival is apparently the largest open-air festival in Europe.
Really?
Number 89. Apparently, Poland exports more amber than any other country in the world. That's it, that's the fact. I literally have no opinion whatsoever on amber. Fill time, okay, so I still love Jennifer Lawrence. There you go. Number 90. Set between two buildings in Warsaw is Kerrit House, which at just 152 centimetres at its widest point is the narrowest house in the world. The structure, which is actually classified as an art installation due to the fact it doesn't meet Polish building codes, contains 2 floors and has 1 bedroom, a kitchen, a bathroom and a living area. Number
How many people
91.
enter there?
Between 1974 and 1991, Poland was home to the Warsaw Radio Mast, which was at the time the tallest structure in the world. It stood at an incredible 2,121 feet high, until a catastrophic failure on the 8th of August 1991, causing it to bend and snap at roughly half its height, and yes, that was a Legally Blonde reference. Only one structure has ever surpassed the height of the Warsaw Radio Mast, and that honour belonged to the Burj Khalifa, the current tallest building in the world.
Wow.
Number 92. Poland is home to one of the world's oldest salt mines, the Wieliczka salt mine, located in the southern Polish town of, you guessed it, Wieliczka. Built in the 13th century, the mine reaches a depth of 1,073 feet and is over 178 miles long, producing table salt all the way up until 2007. Number 93. Wieliczka salt mine is now a popular tourist attraction, containing dozens of statues, 3 chapels, and an entire cathedral carved out of rock salt by the miners,
Wow.
often referred to as the underground salt cathedral of Poland. Approximately 1.2 million visitors walk through the salt mine every year.
Whoa.
Number 94. Poland is also the proud owner of the Christ the King monument, an enormous statue of Jesus Christ, the central figure of Christianity, of whom Catholics are generally quite fond. At 33 metres in height, Christ the King is 3 metres taller than the much more well-known statue of Christ the Redeemer in the Brazilian city of Rio de Janeiro, making it the tallest statue of Jesus in the world.
Amazing.
Number 95. The Wawel dragon is a famous dragon in Polish folklore that once upon a time lived in a cave at the foot of Wawel Hill on the bank of the Vistula River, in what is now Krakow. The marauding scaly boy terrorized the local population until a plucky cobbler named Scuba tricked it into eating sulfur, causing it to become so thirsty it drank from the Vistula River until it literally burst. The same thing happened actually to our old editor Clive, except instead of river water it was chicken nuggets. Nasty way to go, but quite a spectacle. Number 96.
Wow.
In honour of the legend of the Wawel dragon, in 1972 a ferocious-looking statue of a dragon was placed at the foot of Wawel Hill, which stands at over 20 feet tall. Most importantly, the statue uses natural gas to actually breathe fire every few minutes, making it the coolest statue I've ever heard of. Sorry, Jesus. Number
Whoa.
97. Not only that, the statue has since been modernised to allow onlookers to trigger the dragon's fiery breath by sending it a text message reading smok, the Polish word for dragon. This service has proved to be incredibly popular because obviously it has, and at one point prompted roughly 2,500 messages a day. Number 98. The town of Swójbice in western Poland is home to a charming monument to Wikipedia, the popular free encyclopedia which we all collectively ignore when it asks for even the most reasonable donations. The statue, which stands at over 2 meters in height, consists of 4 for some reason nude people carrying a globe-shaped puzzle, the symbol of Wikipedia. Number 99. Apparently, the most popular dog name in Poland is Burek, which translates to brown-grey colour. Wow, real dog lovers in Poland. Number 100. In the Polish capital of Warsaw, people who have the good fortune to be born on public transport are entitled to free travel for the entirety of their lives. Man, I wish I'd been born in a bus in Poland. Life's so unfair.
Wow.
I was born in a hospital. Number 101. Yeah. In 2004, a local council member initiated a motion to rename a street in the Polish town of Grabowiec to honour one of his greatest loves, Star Wars. After the decision was accepted in early 2005, the street was officially dubbed Ulica Obi-Wana Kenobigo, which means Obi-Wan Kenobi Street in Polish. The change generated significant media attention, attracted fans from across Poland, and even prompted a congratulatory letter from representatives of Lucasfilm. It's nice to end on a happy note after such a harrowing video. Anyway, that was 101 facts about Poland. Have you ever been to Poland? Would you ever go to Poland?
Yes.
Do you live in Poland now? Let me know in the comments down below. Also, let me know, what do you want to see on 101 Facts next? In the meantime,
Number 100 got me. Like, so if you give birth to a child in a public transport, that child has the right to enter free transport all the rest of the child's life. That one got me. Like, public transport can also be airplane. So imagine you giving birth to a child in an airplane. Will the child be able to fly free plane for the rest of the child's life? Okay. This is like he went from the saddest part of of the history of Poland to the interesting part, to the amazing part and all. And the dragon, there's a video I did and they said about the dragon as well. And he's now saying that the dragon, like they text the dragon 25,000 words, or is it 25 or 2,500 words every day? So the dragon, and when they text that dragon word, okay, in English language. Okay, the dragon will breathe out fire. Like, that's epic. Whoever invented that did an epic job there. This was pretty interesting. I literally enjoyed it. And again, the Jesus statue, as I said, I did a reaction where the statue was shown, and I'm saying it again here. Like, yo, that statue is literally huge. It's big. Yo, this is, I want to see this with my own eyes. Like, I've seen a lot of sight that when I come to Poland, I will want to see it with my own eye. I hope to God it comes pretty soon. I'll see you, all my besties, in my next one. Until then, stay safe, stay blessed, positive vibe everywhere. Dziękuję, do widzenia. Bye, guys.